The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O, the R, the K. Look yourself in the face. Look yourself in the mirror. Ask yourself, are you giving 120% every day? Every play? Give me 120 or don't give me nothing at all. The guy you competing against, you haven't outworked him. You've not outworked the person next to you. You've not out-hustled them. You've not out-grind them. You've not outdone them. You're not locked in. Bring all your passion. Bring heart. Every single game, every single play. Put forth 120% or don't ask nobody to do nothing to you. The W, the O, the R, the K. The W, the O.
Let me try to get you guys a better shot here. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. What's up, Scottish? What's going on, man? We trading, baby. We trading. Good morning, all. Glad I cashed in. Yeah, man, I cashed in too, man. I cashed in my shorts yesterday too, man. They look good. They look good. They look good. They look good. So y'all, we're gonna get moving. We're gonna get rolling. We're gonna get rocking and rolling on this Monday, baby. We gotta get moving. We gotta get up. We gotta get at it. We gotta start doing our thing. We got to get ready for this week. We got to get ready for this trading week. We got to get ready to start rocking and rolling, man. It should be getting interesting here pretty soon this week. And, we're in a very, 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 very awkward position, let's just say. So crypto's in a very awkward position, as far as the people who think that the market is still in a bull run, the light is dimming. And the people like me who believe that we're in a bear market, or on our way to a bear market, I should say, the light is the light's coming on. And whether you agree we're in a bull market or whether you agree we're in a bear market, let's just agree that the market don't look good. There's a lot of red going on. There's a lot of people that are scared. There's a lot of people that are wondering what the heck is going on. And we're going to get into it today. We're going to look at it. We're going to get into it. Going to look at some price action. Going to look at some events that may move the market one way or the other. So it's gonna get interesting, y'all. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right into what's going on this Monday morning. So let's jump right in. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how everything is trading. Let's see where we're headed. Let's look at what we're doing. And let's look at where the market is overall, right? So we got the Asian market right here. They didn't trade too well last night. They traded to the downside. We have the European market trading pretty well right now. So this is hope, right? This is hope for the markets that the European market's coming in. They're trading green. They're looking good. Market seems stable over there in Europe as they start their trading day. We get over here in the United States. We got the S&P, the Dow, and the NASDAQ all in red. Oil's in red, not looking too hot either. So the markets over here in the United States are not looking the greatest right now on this Monday morning. Not looking like they want to jump in and help the European markets. But we're going to see how this thing moves forward as the morning goes on. It's still early in the pre-market session. So we'll kind of see if this thing can gain some legs as the pre-market session starts to move on. So definitely got to pay attention to that pre-market session and see how things are going to come. We got the precious metals over here. You got gold that looks like it wants to start to rebound a little bit. Sitting at 4,756 right now. And you got silver right now sitting at $83.13. They look like they want to rebound a little bit. These things got hit pretty damn hard on Friday. You got copper trading under $6 at $5.81. I do think that copper is going to move here in a minute, so we shall see. Scotty says it's a bloodbath. Yo, they hurting over there. We hurting. What's up, Heat? Rise and grind, baby. Yes, it's Monday. Yes, Heat. How are you? Happy Monday. But yes, we do have the precious metals here. Gold starting to rebound. It wants to rebound. Silver wants to rebound. Copper's kind of pulling back a little bit. I thought copper would run a little bit, but I think they're setting us up for that run. So we shall see where that goes, right? Oracle getting hit a little bit today because they're on a fundraising campaign to raise some money. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. We'll see where the stock market goes. United States pre-markets do not look good, but what gives everybody hope, gives me a little bit of hope too, is that the European markets are trading pretty damn solid right now, right? So if let's hope that we can turn that around a little bit and see if these pre-markets can't come in a little bit better today than what we're seeing right now. So yeah, pre-markets ain't looking too hot over here in the United States, y'all. They ain't looking too hot. So we got a lot of stuff going on. We got possible conflicts in the world. We got a lot of stuff that could really turn these markets around to the positive or to the negative if we get these things figured out, right? We got the new Fed chair. People think that he's a little hawkish, but I don't know. We'll see. I think he's gonna spread that balance sheet pretty quick. He's going to start, selling off that balance sheet pretty quick. It's going to be good for the short term, may not be so good for the long term. And I think that's what people are kind of pricing in right now is the fact that may not be so hot for the long term. So over there on TikTok, man, keep smashing that like screen. Keep tapping that screen, guys. Get this thing shared out. Over here on X and YouTube as well. Let's get this thing shared out. Good morning, Ken. Good morning, Selmo. What's going on? What's going on? What's good? Just reviewing these markets a little bit. Little bit worried about the United States pre-markets right now. They're all in red right now. It looks like a bloodbath over there. But what gives me a little bit of hope is the European markets are trading pretty steady right now, pretty strong, all in the green. Let's hope we can roll some of this over here to the United States markets. And also the gold and silver trade seems to want to bounce back just a little bit. I mean, come on, guys. You had to know that gold and silver was going to pull back. I mean, that chart was straight up, right? That chart was straight up. You knew that they were going to start taking profits off that at some point. Come on, man. Let's not act foolish, right? We knew that they were going to start taking some profits there. So definitely got to expect that, right? Expect that profit taking to happen, guys. Let's not act foolish, Let's not act foolish. Let's not act like people aren't going to take the profit. So, that thing was straight to the upside, man. So let's make sure that we understand that. But it definitely looks like it's trying to get its legs right now. It's trying to move on. But let's go ahead. Let's get into this crypto market. Let's see what's going on this Monday. Let me refresh this screen real quick. Make sure that we're dealing with the most recent data here because it's definitely interesting data where we are, right? So not the best data, but interesting data, right? So let's go ahead. Let's have a look at it, right? We got the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting at 15 right now. Oh boy, this thing is down. That's extreme fear right there, man. That thing right there is extreme fear at 15. We got the altcoin season sitting at 29 out of 100. Not great. We got the total market cap sitting at 2.6 trillion. Yo, they freaking leaked the hell out of this market cap. They crushed this market cap. This market cap. I told you guys to watch this total market cap. Told you guys to watch this thing, man. This thing definitely was to the downside. If anything, you can kind of see that trend, right? That thing is so far to the downside, man. Like they're just leaking this market cap, man. Like they crushed this thing, man. When you look at it, they rock this market cap. So they liquidated the hell out of people over here. So I'm glad. I was wondering about you, Scottish. I was wondering if you got out. If you got out of your trades. I got out of some of my trades. I didn't have longs in the market though. I was only riding with shorts, and I'm gonna continue to only ride with shorts, right? So as long as this market cap is leaking the way that it's leaking, I'm only riding with shorts. So no longs in this market cap. No longs in this market right now. What's up, DG? It's Black History Month. Yes, it is. It's Black History Month, man. Selmo, yes, it is. Yes, it is, man. Shortest month of the year. ST, how are you? How are you? Live viewer. Okay, let's see. StreamYard sent me a message. Let me catch up on a little bit of this. Good morning, now. Yeah, so we got Black History Month. So it's a good day, man. Shortest month of the year. So it is what it is, man. But this market is leaking, brother. 2.61 trillion right now. 2.61 trillion. You guys see that? 2.61 trillion sitting over there on that market cap. Just absolutely getting hammered, man. That market cap's absolutely getting dusted. And I told you guys, like, if we fell out of that bear flag, we're in trouble. Why everybody crying? Yo, everybody's crying. You see this bloodbath over here, man? I ain't crying though. Like, I'm trying to make money on the way down, and on the way up, man. Listen, I told you guys, there's a time and a place to hold, and there's a time and a place to take profit, right? And you guys we should have been taking our profit a long time ago, right? You got to take profits in these markets, man. When you're up, you got to take profits. You can't. This is not a holder's. Crypto's not a holder's game, man. You're not dealing with the stock market. This thing, when you're up, you got to take profits. And the same people that are telling you to hold are the same ones that are taking profits, right? So you got to learn. If we didn't learn anything from the last run or the last two runs, you got to know that you got to take profits, man. You got to take profits. The Junior Hunsinger, how are you, brother? Let's get them taps. Let's get them likes going over there on TikTok. Let's get these likes flowing in here. Let's get these things up. Let's get these things moving, man. Let's rock and roll, man. Let's talk about this crypto market, man. So, yeah, 2.61 trillion, man, getting rocked right now. You got the ETF outflows negative $762 million on Friday. So outflows have just been crazy in these ETFs. You got the Bitcoin dominance, man, at 59.4%. 59.4%. Y'all see that? 59.4%. That is absolutely way too high for any type of alt season to even think about any type of alt season, right? Just way too high. And you got the Ethereum dominance tanking down to 10.5%, right? So you're not getting any type of altcoin relief with the Ethereum dominance being anywhere under 12%. And right now you're sitting at 10.5%, right? And the rest of the altcoins are sitting at 30%, right? So when you look at this thing and where it is, man, the market cap, I want you guys to think about this, and this is something that I've been trying to get you guys to think about for a while. But I think you're starting. If you're smart, you're starting to see it right now. So in this cryptocurrency market, we concentrate on Bitcoin so much. Why? Because Bitcoin moves the market. It holds over 50% of the market cap, right? So now closer to 60%. So the rest of the market will move as Bitcoin moves, right? So if you just look at these two right here, you got 59.4 and 50 and 10.5, right? You just look at your top two cryptos, right? You're looking at, let's call that, 67. You're looking about 70% of the market right here. 70% of that total $2.61 trillion market cap is sitting right there in them two tokens. And then everything else is spread out, right? Everything else is spread out. So when you start to look at that, if you could probably look at the top 10 tokens and say that they probably take up about a good, probably 80% of the market cap, and then everything else is just fighting for something. They're fighting for the crumbs, right? So, know that when you're in these down markets that you're fighting for the crumbs. What is the ATH for the for the overall crypto? It was roughly about 4.5 trillion. Summer. I think we got up to almost 4.5 trillion in its total market cap. This cycle, this run, right? So you leaked about, I would say a little less than half of that is gone, right? It's gone. So we got the future sitting right here. What's left to be liquidated out of the market? You're looking at right here. You're looking at about $588.2 billion. We'll get into the liquidations here in a minute, but about 500 and some billion left to be liquidated out of the market. So market cap's coming down. Altcoins are coming down. I mean, we're on the hour here on the bubbles, right? And we're looking at this thing on the hourly, and it's in red. Of course, the daily's in red. It is what it is. The week's in red. I know people are, listen, man, people are holding on to hope, and I get it. I understand why people are holding on to hope that this thing's going to bounce back all of a sudden, and we're going to bounce this thing off of $75,000, and we're going to run this thing up to 100K. It ain't happening, brother. I'm here to tell you right now, it ain't happening. It's not happening. And we're going to get into when we get into the chart, you'll be able to see it, but it's not happening. And so let's see what we got going on over here for price action, bro. Before we even get into the charts, let's see what price action looks like. So we got Bitcoin right now sitting here hanging out 77,800. We got Ethereum sitting here at $2,285. We got BNB hanging out around $784. We got Solana trying its best to hang on to. We got Solana doing its best trying to hang on to 100, sitting at 103 right now. Just absolutely getting crushed. You got XRP sitting here at 162, trying its best to hang on to 162 here. 150 is a key level for XRP. It dipped down there on Sunday. It dipped actually below that. So, XRP got to hold on to 150. If it don't hold on to 150, XRP is in trouble. It's in trouble, and it will dip below there. It will dip below. There's no doubt. The whole market, because the whole market's going to dip below, right? So we'll look at that when we get to the chart, right? But so these altcoins got more room to come down. You got Chainlink underneath $10 right now, sitting at $9.56. No surprise that the market's coming down and everything else is coming down. You got Hydra Liquid's on a run right now, though. For some reason, it's running all by itself. It's kind of doing its own thing out here, which is dangerous. With hype, that's dangerous. When you start running by yourself, that's dangerous because now people are looking to get in. They're looking to short that, and then they're looking to take their profits and stable up. You got Canton sitting here at 17.9, call it 18 cents, right? Canton's doing well. Canton Network is one of the ones that I think I'm going to start loading up on when this market starts to pull back. So Canton Network is definitely one that's going to be in my top, probably my top 5 token holdings that I'm going to have. So yo, you guys got to start tapping that like screen over there on TikTok, man. Let's get them likes up. But yeah, Canton is definitely one that I'm definitely going to load up on. Stellar got pounded, man, sitting at 17 cents right now. I'm gonna wait till that thing gets to 15 cents before I start adding it. Hedera sitting at 9 cents right now. I can see H bar at the bottom of this run coming in at about 7 cents. There's a strong support level for H bar at 7 cents, and there's a strong support level for H bar at 3 cents. It hovered around them two areas for a long time, y'all. So watch out for that. Incoming. But yeah, let's start tapping that screen over there on TikTok, y'all. Let's start tapping. So let's go ahead. Let's look at these charts right now. Right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and have a look, see of kind of where we are. Right. So it's the Bitcoin chart. Right. It's the Bitcoin chart. I mean, it kind of blow this up for you so we can really kind of see what we're talking about. Right. Sitting at 77.9, putting in a green candle right now. It's a daily chart. This is a daily chart right here. So on the daily, looks like we're putting it trying to come back strong on the daily. But here's the thing: you're trading in this range right now. We've dropped down into this trading range right now between 70 78. Let's call it even 78.5 and 75.5. We've been flirting with this area right here. And when was the last time that we were actually in this area, right? Let's go ahead. Let's have a look. Let's pull this thing back. Let's look at this. Let's look at this for what it is for everybody that thinks that we're headed to a massive upswing, right? The last time that we seen these lows right here where we were at, where it was April of 2025. So it's been since April since we've been playing with this $75,000 mark, right? That was support. It bounced off of that support and took up. It moved to the upside, right? Right there, you see it. This isn't me talking. This is the actual chart, right? So here's the kicker. If you lose this $75,000 support level, where are you headed? Like let's look and see where you're headed. You have some resistance right here at 68K, right? That was a little bit of a resistance, and then turned that resistance into some support and took off, right? Right here at this level right here. You guys see this level? Right here. This is that $68,000 level. Right? So if you lose that 75, the only hope you got is to pick up this zone right here at 68. Right? That's it. That's it. Like that's the hope. Like I'm not here to bullshit you or give you hopium about anything other than what the chart says. You lose the 75, you're coming to 68, right? So what we got to hope for right now, and hey, I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you, man. But I'm rooting for you, but at the same time, I'm gonna be here to say that if we break this 75 right here, short going in, and I'm riding it down to 68. You know what I mean? It's just that simple, right? So we haven't seen these lows since April of 2025. You know, so we'll get a little bit deeper into that, right? So when we look at that's the levels right now, right? That we really have to look at, right? So you get over here to the total market cap. You look, you know, we're looking, you know, some of you asked where we were at a high for a total market cap. Well, let's go ahead and let's take a look. Let's see where I think we topped out 4.27 trillion. So 4.27 trillion. So you lost about 2 trillion out of the market cap, right? Let's just call it even 2 trillion, not to split hairs, right? So when we look at the total market cap, this was your bear flag that we were talking about for weeks. And I told you guys that if we dropped out of this, we're in trouble, right? And guess what? We dropped out, and guess what? We're in trouble. You see the EMAs, they're pointed straight to the downside. So now you're coming down here and you're flirting with this 2.61 trillion, right? So let's just take this right here and let's see when the last time we were at 2.61 trillion is. You know, we'll just throw some quick lines on here. They won't be completely accurate, but they'll be close enough for us to get a view of where we're at, right? Get us a little view. All right, so let's pull this thing back. When was the last time we were here? Well, it looked like we were here. Looked like we were here right around this area right here and this area right here. And the last time we were here is probably April 2025. It's amazing how that happens, right? Bitcoin, that's the last time Bitcoin visited this area. This is the last time that the total market cap visited this area, right? So where are we going if we lose this level, right? Where are we going if they keep liquidate, if people keep leaving, right? Well, look, you got this spot right here at 2.4, at 2.4, where you could probably catch some relief, right? Not a lot of relief here, but we might be able to catch some relief there. But if we don't catch that relief, that short relief right there, your biggest levels are probably yeah, we're at some pretty key levels right now. If you pull back here and we'll go back to 2024, there's some pretty key levels that we're at right now. But if we lose these levels, you're seeing sub 200 trillion dollar market cap. And I think we all know what's going to happen if we get to sub 200, if we get to sub $2 trillion market cap. Everything is going to move to the downside, right? So this isn't my opinion, you know. We're just kind of here looking at the charts and kind of laying it out for you, right? I know everybody else wants to match up the cryptocurrency market with different markets, or the Russell, or the DXY, or quantitative easing, or you know, the liquidity flow, or something like that. But none of them projections have played themselves out so far. None of them. I'm just here to tell you, none of them have. The only thing that's played itself out was the fact that we're in the same cycle that we've always been in. That's it. That's the only thing that has played itself out so far. So you got 1 year down, 3 years up, and we're going to that. We're going to that 1 year. We're in that 1 year down right now, right? And it always happens right around election time, right around what you call it time, midterms. Every time you're in midterms, you kind of get this down, right? So let's have a look at XRP. Let's see where XRP's at. What that chart looks like. It looks about as ugly as everybody else. But you look at it on a daily, look at the EMAs, they're pointing straight down. There's no relief there. There's no relief there. So, you know, right now you're getting prices for XRP that you were. We'll throw another quick line on here. So the last time we seen these prices for XRP was let's see here. Shrink this bad boy. So the last time we seen this type of price action was right here of December 24th of 25, right? XRP hasn't been this low since December 24th of Christmas Eve of 2025, right? So just I try to give you guys a perspective of where this market is, right? You got Chainlink sitting at right now, you got it sitting at $9.63. When was the last time Chainlink? So you guys can see what I'm doing, right? I'm telling you guys how far we've fallen, right? And when the last so when you start when you start thinking about adding to your bags, start thinking about where we are in a cycle, right? So their Chainlink sitting at $9.61, let's just call it, right? So when was the last time we seen these levels? Well, let's go ahead and have a look, right? Let's go ahead and have a look. We haven't seen these levels here since right here. Right around December. It looks like September of 2025, let's say, somewhere around the September level. So roughly around the same area, September, October. So Chainlink hasn't been this low since then. So what you're getting here is you're getting bear market prices, right? Almost bear market prices. We're almost to bear market prices. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum's that dog, right? Ethereum's that dog. Let's have a look. I'll tell you guys right now, if you guys are buying low market cap tokens right now, be very careful. Be very, very careful. So you got Ethereum right now sitting at $2,306. Last time we visited. Oh, excuse me, guys. Last time we visited these levels, January. We were just here in January. Well, no, January 25. January 25, right? So we haven't been down here since January of 25, right? Where we are right now. So here we go, right? Here we go. What are you gonna do? You guys gotta make some decisions. What are you gonna do? You know, if you're up in profit, you might want to think about stable. You might want to think about taking some of that off the table and having some dry powder on the side. If you're down, there's really not a lot for you to do. You really only got two choices. You either fold your tent up and go home, or you look at it and go, okay, well, how far am I down and when am I going to add to my bag, right? Like if you're a holder, right? I mean, there are only two options right there. That just means that you round trip your bag, right? Like, and you don't want to do that, right? You don't want to do that. But yeah, so AVAX. When was the last time AVAX was down this low? My buddy AVAX, love AVAX, man. I think AVAX is gonna be an absolute beast here. November of 2023. AVAX hasn't been this low since 2023. Think about that for a minute, guys. AVAX hasn't been this low since 2023. $10. I want you guys to think about that. Think about that one for a minute. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough. Yeah. So just trying to from perspective standpoint, you know, just trying to let you guys kind of know where we are, right? My buddy Aerodrome, you guys know how high I am on Aerodrome. I think Aerodrome's going to be a beast, right? But it ain't a beast right now. And that's what matters, right? It ain't a beast right now. And that thing's sitting at 38 cents. That thing is absolutely just decimated, absolutely just crushed. But it's not alone because the rest of the altcoins are crushed as well. So, yeah, but that thing just got freaking whoa, woo, woo wee. And it doesn't look like on a daily. You look at these EMA ribbons, it doesn't look like there's a relief. I know it's on a green candle right now, but you know, let's pull these up. Yeah, it's in the buy zones right now, but it's coming down. You know, it looks like it's it's coming down. Like, let's see if we can get some relief off of this on a daily, but oh, that don't look good. That don't look good. None of it looks good. None of it looks good. So yeah. So, you know, that's kind of where we are when we look at these things, right? You know, I mean, we're the 2024, 2023 lows, right? So here's what some people for those of you guys who want hopium, here's what some people are saying could happen, right? Here's what some people are saying could happen, and you guys can make your own decisions on if you think that this is going to happen. So the people that believe that we're still in a bull market believe that we're going to hit this $75,000 mark right here. Right, this thing right now is acting as support, 75,000 right here, and I'm using it as support. Every time we get down to 75,000, you know, I may throw a quick long in there up to 77, take some money out. When it gets to 77, I might throw a quick short in there and just keep shorting it back down to 75, right? And just keep playing that game and playing that game on rinse and repeat, right? But here's what people are saying. They think that some people think that we're going to take this 75,000. We're going to bounce off this 75,000. We're going to break through this 77. This 78,000, my bad. 78,000 resistance line we have. We're going to come up to this 78,000. We're going to come up to this 80,000, 82,005 mark, right? We're going to bust through that, right? We're going to bust through that 82,000. We're going to bust through 87. We're going to bust through 90, well 88 right here. And then we're going to turn around, we're going to bust through 90,000. We're gonna bust through 91,000, and then we're gonna bust through 97,000, right? And we're gonna make our way back up through all of this resistance with no problem. This is a daily chart. This ain't a 15-minute chart. This is daily candles. We're gonna bust up through all of this resistance all the way up here and get all the way back up to roughly right up into this level right here, which is about 107,000. How likely of a scenario do you think that is? I'm not saying it can't happen. This is crypto. Anything can happen. But when you look at that scenario right there, how likely of a scenario do you think that is? I'm showing you the chart. You can make your own decision. Resistance, 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 resistance. Which resistance, which once was support, now becomes resistance. Which once was support, now becomes resistance, resistance, resistance. How likely of a scenario do you think that is? I'm just asking the question. Here's the thing. So for TikTok and YouTube and X, if you think that we're going to bust through all that and get back up to 107, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. If you don't think that we're going to bust through all that resistance and we're headed back down here to what I call the last line of defense, right around 66,000. At 66,000, right? If we get through right here, we'll put, I had a line on here, but I kind of cleared the chart on an accident, right? So Right here. Let's put this line right here. Let's just call it right here. I see a bunch of people on TikTok, YouTube, X, and everybody else saying that we're still in the bull market, right? So let's just take a poll. So here's 66,000, right? And let's just call this let's call this right here. Let's call this right there. Let's call this the official bull bear market. This is the official bear market right here, right? Right here. This is where everybody can just kind of be quiet for a little while, right? So here we are, right here. What's the chances? So you guys tell me, what's the chances of us going up there or down here? If you think we're going up here, put a 1 in the chat. If you think we're headed right here and gonna break through this and be in this bear market, official bear market, put 2 in the chat. Timeline, it doesn't matter, Ken. Which one's coming first, right? Which one's coming first? My man Scotty says 2. My man Scotty says 2. What's TikTok saying over there? Are we 1 or are we 2? We're closer to the floor right now than we are at the top. So which way we headed? Which way we headed? We're headed down. So if we're headed down, then you got to say we're headed here. We're gonna get here before we get there if we're headed down, right? XRP to $1.50. XRP is gonna see $1.09. If we bust through here, right? If Bitcoin busts through here, right? It's gonna drag the rest of the altcoins down with it, right? And let's look and see what happened, right? We can look at XRP some more. Let's look at it. Let's just look at it for what already happened, right? Because we've been here for a week or so now, right? So let's look and see what happened, right? So Bitcoin came down to 75,000 already, right? We keep touching 75.5 and bouncing off of that, which that's strong support. Down. Ken says down. Yes, we are going down. We're closer to the floor, right? So that means that we're going to bust through that 66. I'm telling you. So Bitcoin already touched 75.5. Touched it last night, actually, right? So when you look at this, when it got down to 75.5, XRP was at $1.53, right? Maybe $1.52, maybe even lower, depending on what chart you were looking at. But this says $1.53, right? So it was already touching, let's just say, $1.50 when Bitcoin got down to 75.5, right? So if it already touched that level at 75.5 and got down to 50 cents, right? Let's pull this up. Where do you think it's going to be when you get here? Because just for Bitcoin, from here to here is a 19% move, right? 16% move, right? So if Bitcoin's going to make a 16% move to the downside, right? If Bitcoin's going to make a 16% move to the downside, and I'm glad we're going through this, because this is how you guys got to think about your altcoins, right? If Bitcoin's going to make a 16% move to the downside, your altcoins usually make a bigger move down, right? So let's just say that this is where this is, and let's just say that XRP makes a there's 15. Let's say XRP makes a 16. We'll move this. Let's say XRP makes a 20% move to the downside. That puts you at $1.22, right? And that's giving it. That's giving it some, right? Because usually if Bitcoin's going to make a 16% move, your altcoins are going to make a 25 to 30% move, right? So there's still about 30% left of downside in your altcoins. So that's how you guys got to think about it, right? If you think we're going to 66 and below, you got to think that your altcoins are going to take a bigger hit, right? So, so I just showed you guys that your altcoins were already at levels of 2024, 2023, right? Down goes Sailor. Sailor's in trouble right now. Actually his portfolio is to the negative, right? The MicroStrategy's portfolio is already in the negative right now. I seen a report of that the other day. But here's the question with that. Do you think that they care? Do you think that they care, right? Or do you think now they're going to dollar cost average that portfolio down for the next run? That's the question. I personally don't think that they care. I think that people like MicroStrategies actually welcome this move to dollar cost average down so that they can dunk on the people on the next run. I think it's all about the next run. I think everybody's setting up for the next run, right? And I think that's what people are doing right now. Like they've said, okay, this one's over, right? This run's over. Let's position ourselves for the next run. I personally don't think MicroStrategies really care, right? I don't think they really much care. I think that what their job is to accumulate some more, and then make that big blast up. So they were panicking about BTC. They publicly they were. Privately, I don't think they were. Privately, I think they're looking at how to dollar cost average that down and accumulate. He could be. There's a lot of Epstein. I don't want to say too much because they'll pull my video down, but in them files, there's a lot of people, and they were using crypto to make transactions. So they were using crypto to make transactions. You guys tap that like screen over there on TikTok. Let's get this thing up to 10,000 likes and beyond. Let's keep tapping, man. Let's get this thing up to 10 G's. We're almost out of here, so let's hurry up. Let's get this thing up to 10 G's. Let's go. Yeah, so I mean, when we look at this, I mean, we look at MicroStrategies. I mean, they're just now underwater. So if they start buying at 75, they start buying at 66, you're probably going to come drop down. Right here's your 66. You're probably right here's your 66. So you're probably going to end up coming down around this area around 64. They'll probably buy between this new trading level right here. They'll add a crap ton down here. They'll dollar cost average up. They'll dollar cost average down, and then on this move up right here, I think this move, when we make this move to the upside and we get on that 3-year up cycle, I think you're going to see some MicroStrategies do something a little bit different this year than they did in prior years. I think you're going to start to see them sell a little bit. I think their average cost is going to be low enough where you're going to start to see them sell a little bit. I don't think that you're going to see them just hodl this thing forever, right? So I think that's going to be the difference with this cycle, right? And I think you'll see BlackRock. I mean, BlackRock's already selling, Fidelity's already selling, but I think you'll see MicroStrategy start to sell a little bit. But where's this total market cap? 2.59. They're losing more steam here. Losing a little bit more market cap today, y'all. We losing a little bit more market cap today, y'all. Let's look and see where the liquidation levels are at for Bitcoin today. I'll tell you, there ain't much left. There's not much left. I'll tell you that. We already know that there's about 500 and something billion in market cap liquidation. 74 4. There's some liquidation sitting up there, right around 260 mil. And 74.4 and 74. Well, damn, that's a tight range right there. 74.5 and 74.4. 74.5 and 74.4. You got 263 million there, and 232 million there. So there's about, let's just call it even 500 million just to come down to 74.4 and 74.6 to liquidate that. On the top side of us, you got 78.5. You're only looking at 165 million there. There's hardly anything there. And then right here you have 70. No, we want to come over here. Right here you're looking at 78.7. You're looking at 269 million right there. So you're probably looking at about another 500 mil right here. Probably what you're looking at. So not a lot above us, not a lot below us. So there's not a lot of liquidations out there, which is good. Which is good. That's a good thing. Tim Skate, what's going on? I got my Canadian peeps in the house today, man. What's going on, man? What's up? Yeah, so there's really not a lot going on over there when it comes to liquidations. I mean, you look at that liquidation map right there for Bitcoin on Binance. There's not a ton there. There's just not. The market makers aren't going to really do too much with this little bit of liquidity in the market. There's just not all the mass liquidations have already happened, like until they start building up again, right? 2.6 trill. Okay, so we're flirting between 2.6, 2.57 on that total market cap. Where's Canton? CC. Where's my boy Canton at? Oh, man. Canton's about the only thing that's running right now. 17.5, 17 cents, 17.5. Canton and Hype and Hyperliquid are about the only two that are running right now. Canton's got its EMA ribbons pointed to the upside, which is good. We'll see. I want to see this thing come down here to about 15 cents. I think it'll get there. I think listen, you can't just keep running by yourself, right? Hydroliquid and Canton are about the only two top projects that are kind of running by themselves. You eventually will come to the market the same way Zcash. Remember, Zcash was running against the market. When the market was down, it was up, and when the market was up, it was down. Eventually, you come to the market, right? So look, it came to the market, right? Just kind of how it happens, right? You can roll for so long that way, but eventually, like the London Bridge, it comes crashing down, right? Like you see Hydroliquid right now, it's running against the market. The market's coming down, and this is running up, right? And you see it's running hot right now. It's running hot. So when that thing comes down, it's going to come down pretty good. So We'll see. We'll see. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? It's definitely going to come down here. You look at what happened right here. Let's drill this in right here, right here. It touched the EMAs, boom, bounced off of them. Touched it, boom, bounced off of them. Touched them again here, bounced off of them. So what's ultimately going to end up happening is going to end up coming down here and really just sitting inside these EMAs and then making a decision on which way it wants to go, up or down. More than likely it'll come down. Just because there's not enough liquidity in the market for it to keep it up there. Yeah, you see it's running hot right now. It's running hot right now. Yeah. There's just not enough liquidity in the market to keep it up there. Eventually it'll just kind of bottom out. And it'll probably come down to right here. It'll probably end up coming down to at the end of it all, when it's all said and done, after it plays around here, here's a nice support level for it right here, right around $23 and some change, call it $24. And then there's a little bit more for it down here at 20. But yeah, this thing will probably come London Bridge crashing down. We'll see if it can use 28 as support. See if it can flip this to support at 28. But I don't think it'll stay there. That's right inside the EMA ribbons. I don't think it'll stay there. I think it'll come back down. So gotta kind of chill right there. Morning, brother. Morning. So yeah, I think it'll kind of chill right there. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as the day moves on, though. Let's check on these bubbles and see where we're at, and then we'll get out of here. Look at the bubbles here. They haven't changed much. They're still in red. They still look like dog shit. And they probably ain't gonna get any better. But there's River, right? We talked about River before. Look at it. River's up 10%, 10.2%. But again, River's another one. You look at it and you go, you've been running against the market for so long. At what point do you come to the market, right? At what point do you come to the market? It'll happen. It'll happen. Let's just hope that you're in a trade when it does. Either it'll come to the market or the market will catch it, one or the other. And I don't see the market catching it, because that means it has to go up. So I think the market will come down. I think it'll come down to meet the market. So to meet the market and stabilize H bar, man, I thought H bar would hold up. I'll tell you guys the truth, man. I thought H bar would hold up a little bit better than what it has so far. I thought it would hold on to 10 cents just for a little bit longer than what it did, which scares me a little bit, because it didn't hold as well as I thought. I do think that H bar it's going to drop to 7 cents pretty quick. I thought it would hold up just a little bit better. I knew it was going to come down, but I didn't think it was going to come down that far in the first wave. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. A lot of support for H bar at 9 cents, a lot of support at 7 cents. And then again, like I said, you don't get there until 3 cents. You don't get that big, huge support until 3 cents. So 77.8 on Bitcoin right now, man. Ethereum at $2,285. Hey, who would have thought? I'm going to call it right now. But who would have thought just a couple months ago that you would be so close to a $2,000 Ethereum? Remember, everybody, we're going to $6,000, baby. We're going to $6,000, baby. We're running to 6, baby. Ethereum to 6. Some people are calling it 10. You're closer to $2,000 than you are $6,000. You're closer to $2,000 than you are $3,000. But Solana, man, it lost $100 last night. And I'll tell you guys right now, the two projects that I actually did buy a little bit of, and I call them wick buys, because when Solana wicked to 97, I bought a little bit of it. And when Chainlink wicked down to $9.50, I bought a little bit of it, and I call them wick buys. The reason I call them wick buys is because let's say you bounce off of this. Let's say we go with the theory, because this is crypto and anything can happen. So you set yourself up both ways, right? Let's say you go with the theory that we're going to bounce off of 75. We're going to hold 75. We're going to bounce off of it. We're going to slowly start to make our way back up. And we're going to be in a super cycle, which is highly unlikely. Then that wick buy will give me at least a 2x, right, off of each one of them, right? So, and what's the worst that can happen to me is that I hold Solana at $97 and I hold a little bit of Chainlink at $9.50. Not the end of the world, right? Not the end of the world, because the next run they're going to be above that. But I call them wick buys, right? So just in case. Been saying all along. Yeah, Ken, you're right. There's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on out there, and it's going to affect the market. Look, here's the thing: you look no further than this right here, right? Look. Here's the pump fake in the drive by, right? So crypto's down, right? Stock market is running somewhat hot, but I think there's a retracement coming here, right? I think that there's a retracement coming in the stock market. Like, it's running way too hot. There's a retracement coming, and geopolitically, it doesn't make sense for us to be running this hot. So I think there's a pullback there. And so doesn't a lot of big time money think that there's a pullback there, because gold and silver don't run this high unless people are running for safety with their money. Call it what you want. Unless people are feeling that the stock market's going to come down, gold and silver don't run that hot. So there's a lot of big money out there that thinks the same way that we think, that say, hey, it ain't looking too good. Ain't looking too good out there, y'all. So, Ken, you're not wrong. And if nobody's coming out of here's the other thing. We're in the AI revolution, right? And what does AI need? AI needs gold, it needs silver, it needs copper. If we start to build nuclear plants, we're going to probably need some of this palladium over here, right? So nobody's coming out of these hot runners that AI needs right here, these top 4, right? Nobody's coming out of these to get into Bitcoin, which is the most riskiest asset. Crypto's the most riskiest asset in the whole trading sector, right? So you got to remember that. And I'll give you guys just put this into perspective for yourselves, right? There was more money that came out of silver on Friday, that got liquidated out of silver on Friday, than the whole cryptocurrency market cap is worth. I want you to think about it. So before we get to this point where we're like, crypto is the safe haven, crypto's going to take over, crypto's going to, Bitcoin's the new gold and all this stuff that you hear, right? Let's just talk about facts, right? Let's just talk about facts. The amount of money that was liquidated out of silver could have literally came into crypto on Friday and bought every single token inside of the cryptocurrency atmosphere. Every single token inside of the cryptocurrency market, right? All of your XRP, all of your Bitcoin, all of your Ethereum, all of your Solana, all of these tokens that you think so highly of, right? there was over $2 trillion that came out of the precious metals, almost 3 trillion that came out of precious metals just on Friday, right? They could have came in there, they could have took that money and they could have bought every single token on the blockchain. And that's in one day. One day. So when we start talking about the money flow, take a step back and put that into perspective for yourself. The precious metals market in one day lost more than what the whole cryptocurrency market cap's worth. So when somebody tells me that a blockchain is going to be worth more than NVIDIA, I'm going to take my coffee, I'm going to have a drink, and I'm going to look at him and say, good luck. Good luck. That's not going to happen. There's too much money sitting up there. So you got to know where crypto is. And this is why everybody is looking for this trade that gold, that we're going to go from gold to silver to Bitcoin. Listen, if we're in a nasty geopolitical tariff type of situation, why would big money turn around and put that much money into the most riskiest asset out there? I mean, we've got to use some common sense when we talk about these things, right? And that's the one thing that I that really kills me about people and some of these people that we talk to and we listen, you know what I mean, is they don't put it into perspective for everybody, right? Like that. They don't put it into perspective to say this is the most riskiest asset. Boy, you crazy. Boy, you crazy. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying, Timsky. I'm just saying, like, we've gotta start telling the truth, and we have to start putting things into perspective when we talk about these asset classes, right? You start seeing people, and they start to have these narratives, right? That they just when you look at the money flow and you look at how things flow and you look at, you know, what makes sense versus what doesn't make sense, you got to look at some people. And there's some people that I listened to for a long time on YouTube and X and stuff. And as you start to get more and more into this asset classes, and as you start to really get more and more into, like what's really truly going on, you got to look at some of these people and go, damn, bro. I can't fuck with that theory anymore. I think you're selling me a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people I've taken a step back from because, let's look at it like people say certain blockchains are going to take over the financial sector. Listen. This a local credit union is worth more than the top 5 blockchains in crypto. Do you really think for a second, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Do you really think for a second, if one single local credit union is worth more than all of the top 5 blockchains in crypto, do you really think for a second that these big banks, right, these big boys, are going to come in here and let you just take their money? Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Come on, dog. Come on, man. What we talking about here? What are we talking about? What are we really talking about? Like, come on, dog. Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Have you fell off of your chair and bumped your head to the point where now you're stupid? They're not going to let you come in here and take their money. They're going to do exactly what Swift did. They're going to do exactly what JP Morgan did. They're going to do all of that. They're going to say, we're going to create our own blockchain. We're going to move this money the way that we want to move it. We're going to move this money how we want to move it. We're going to run this crypto industry the way that we want to run this crypto industry. And for all of you retail investors that have come here before us and have built this little $3 trillion industry and made a whole bunch of money in it, thank you for allowing us to kick back and chill out until we got regulation. We got a pro-crypto government. We got a regulation that we wanted, which is the Clarity Act. That's a bank bill. Thank you for allowing us to work that through the process. But y'all gonna have to take back seat. And now we gonna do what we're gonna do, how we're gonna do it, and when we want to do it. And we're gonna do to you guys in crypto exactly what we do to you guys in the stock market. And you're just gonna have to sit back and take it. And if you don't like it, that's cool. You can leave. And we're gonna keep plugging along. And that's how this game's gonna end. That's how this game's gonna end. Everybody's worried about the Clarity Act and all that. I'm telling you right now, on February 2nd, 2026, how this game is going to end in the United States. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get the Clarity Act, and the banks are going to come in. They're going to roll their own shit out, and they're going to say, "This is how we do it. You're either on board or off board, but we got trillions and trillions of dollars, and we gonna do what we want." Just like BlackRock right now. BlackRock is in cryptocurrency right now, doing exactly what the hell they want. They're doing whatever the hell they want because they got enough money to come into crypto and say, "This isn't a blimp on my radar right now. It's not even a blimp. It's one line on my whole balance sheet that's pretty insignificant on my balance sheet. And now I'm gonna run this whole industry the way that I want. I'm gonna do what I want. And there's nothing you guys are gonna do about it." And that's exactly what's going on right now. I'm just being honest with you guys. You know, we can sit here and get all of this hopium going on, and we can sit here and go, "Yeah, but we were here first," or "Yeah, but this is DeFi," or "Yeah, but you know what I mean? We got these blockchains that are going to do this, this, and this." Take a snapshot of the top 50 blockchains right now. In February 2nd, 2026, you take a snapshot of the top 50 blockchains. And then when we get the Clarity Act passed and we go on this next big crypto run, you take another snapshot of when it's over of the top 50 blockchains, and they will all not be there. The first set that you took today, there will be some blockchains that are not there at the end. They will all not make it. Some of them will fail. Some of them will fall off. Some of them will fail. Some of them won't get adopted. Some of them will see all of their volume go somewhere else, and they won't be there. Think about it. So I'm telling you to do it. Do it. Don't listen to me. Just do it. And then You come back here at the end of the run and you show me the side-by-side comparison of the snapshots that you took, and you let me know what they look like. You also don't gotta believe me. You go back on CoinMarketCap and do historical data. Look at the bull runs of past, and you tell me if there is some Ethereum, XRP, they'll be there. Solana, they'll be there. But you look at some of the tokens that were sitting up in the top 10 and where they are now. They all didn't make it. And it'll be same here. We may see the all-time high in the market in Q3. Not a chance. We're gonna go down, in my opinion. Not a chance. We're gonna go down for 12 months. It's the same cycle we always have had, right? It's 12 months down, 3 years up. 1 year down, 3 years up. So 2026 is going to be an accumulation year. After that, you're going to see, going into 2027, you're going to start to see the ride up. Everybody's looking at Q3, Q4, quantitative easing, quantitative tightening, this, that, other thing. Doesn't matter. The market structure of crypto has not been broken yet, which means you're 12 months down, 3 years up. 12 months down, 3 years up. Yeah, WAGMI done. They're dead. Listen, I'm telling you guys right now, low market cap tokens right now, if you're buying them, you better be in them and you better be out of them. You better get in them. You better get a 2x. You better get the hell out. You see that liquidity. You see the liquidity in the market, right? You see the liquidity in the market. Bitcoin and Ethereum take up 70% of all the liquidity in the market. How much liquidity do you think is moving down to meme coins? Meme coins will have a tremendous time in this market. They will have an absolute boom in this market. But it damn sure ain't right now. So think about that. Bitcoin and Ethereum take up 70% of this market cap. The other blockchains that are sitting in, that fall below it, the next 5 to 7 tokens that drop below it, probably take up the majority of the rest of that market cap. And then everybody else is fighting for crumbs. They're fighting for crumbs, literally fighting for crumbs. So everybody has a time and a place. And right now, the time and place is top 15 tokens. Top 15 tokens. That's where you want to be putting your money, top 15 tokens. Preferably in USDC until this market bottoms out. But all right, y'all, we up out of here. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll do this again. Like I said, I'm not your financial advisor. If you need one, seek one. I'm not him. But do go look into what we talked about today and put things into perspective. Put things into bigger perspectives than what other people tell you to put them in. Because when you look at the gold and silver swap on Friday, that should have told you something. That there was more money that came out of there than the whole cryptocurrency market cap. It should tell you guys about where our asset class is at this moment, right? And where we're headed, right? So, put that stuff into perspective. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Nowhere closer to the bottom than we are the top, So if you think we're going down, we're closer to the bottom than we are the top, right? So, anybody that tells you that we're going to go back up to 100,000, ask them where the liquidity is to bust through all of that resistance on the way up there, because you're not going to get up there and just put a big green candle on a chart and get up there. You got to bust through all of that resistance. Where's the resistance? Where's the liquidity to do that? Because the damn sure ain't in the market. So unless they have magical liquidity dust that they're getting ready to sprinkle on the market everywhere, just ain't happening, brothers. So get ready for the bear market. Get in bear market. Get in bear market mentality is what I'm telling you. Get in bear market mentality. I'm not telling you to go all in, but be in bear market mentality. Be in that frame of mind of, at what price point do I want to start picking up some of these cryptos? Because we're already at lows that we haven't seen since 2023, 2024. At what point do I want to start picking up? At what point do I want to start accumulating for this next run? That should be the mindset that you're in. If you're in the mindset that this thing is going to go back up to 100K and shoot through all that resistance, you're about to take another 20% haircut. You're about to take another 20% haircut on your bags. DCA, everybody says DCA, but nobody. If you DCA'd into this market right now, if you started DCAing into this market at 100K as we started to drop down, you literally DCA'd into a falling knife. You don't do that. You know that there's a bottom coming, and then that's when you start to DCA. That's why I'm telling you to set your price targets, right? And then you're going to have that accumulation phase after you hit the bottom. You're just going to sit there and trade sideways. And that's when you really start to accumulate your crypto. You don't accumulate your crypto when the market cap's at $3 trillion and it's on a straight downhill dive to 2.5 trillion. And it's on a straight downhill dive to 2 trillion. And it's on a straight downhill dive to, 1.5 trillion. You're just DCAing on a falling knife. You just take that money, put it on a sideline, know that the market's coming down, know that the market's not in a good situation right now, and you wait for the market sentiment to reverse, and then you start putting in your money in the market right now. Nobody can ever call the bottom, but you don't put your money into a market that is clearly on a downhill slide. You wait. Sometimes the best thing to do is just wait, right? Because you're never going to hit the exact bottom, and you're never going to sell at the exact top. So sometimes the best thing to do is have that capital sitting on the side and see how low can we go? How low can we go? That's what you got to find out. That's what you got to find out before you put your money in the market. How low can we go? So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. We up out of here. You guys have a good one. Be safe out there. Be smart out there. Just know that the market's on a downhill right now. It's not on an uphill. And we may get some pumps on this downhill. Like we'll get pump up, pull down, pump up, pull down. But really, in my opinion, until we get above that $82,000 mark, I'm not taking a long anywhere in this market. All right. We up out of here. Deuces.